if I was drawing this on Sketchbook Pro, at this point, I would merge all my layers. No, let me stop it. I would not merge all of them. I would merge these ones that I've drawn on. So I have my drawing on 3 different layers. So I would click and then merge, and then click and merge with the one below. I do not want to merge with the layer that, like the background white layer, because we want this to be on a separate, if you can look real quick, I turned off the layer that is just the white layer, okay? So that you can see that there's not anything really drawn under it. We just assume that that's white paper. So what I usually do is I merge, like at this point, I'll merge the structural part that I just did. Okay, so we'll say this that we just did was part 1. Now part 2 is that we're going to add the muscles, or excuse me, the shapes that look like the muscle masses. Okay, and I will, to do that, if I was doing this in Sketchbook Pro, I would add a layer above my drawing. Okay, I like to keep things separate so that if I mess up, it's easier to erase. And so since the thighs are a really prominent thing, let's start with those. All right, so we just finished our brain break. And we're going to start, and I'm still using the sketch pencil in Sketchbook Pro. And this is, I'm going to start with this part of the leg, make this a little bit larger for you guys to see. So this is going to be like a cylinder kind of situation. And what I do know is, still like loosely drawing this, what I do know is that that thigh is going to be large. So it's kind of like, so this, I'm drawing this part. So we notice that the thigh is wider, thicker at the top, and then it gets thinner as it gets to the knee. And then we have the knee. And then the next part is that we'll do the calf. The muscle part of the calf is going to be larger at the top, and then it gets thinner as it goes to the bottom. I'm sure there's a scientific reasoning for that. I don't know what it is, but let me do this real quick. I'm going to turn down my other layer so that you can see this a little bit. So now, so that it's going to be kind of like wider here, and then it gets a little bit thinner here. That makes sense. Now the kneecap is not going to be facing the viewer because the foot is at a curve. Okay, so actually this makes drawing the lower half of the leg a lot easier, because we will come below here and then we're going to add widen this out a little bit. This is like the calf muscle, and then this kind of comes down like that. So in actuality, the knee will probably be right over here. But you don't have to color that in, but I'm just illustrating it. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and connect where the ribs, the torso, and the pelvis just so that you can kind of. Now, if this is the gender of your character is going to be on the feminine side, their rib cage might not be as wide. Okay, so you can adjust it for that. How are you guys feeling about the leg?
What'd you do for the knee?
The knee? I just made the black dot right here because okay, so it's instead of the leg facing forward, it's going to be more at a angle like this. So the knee isn't going to be facing the viewer, it's going to be facing this way. So the knee kind of lines up with the front of the foot, if that is a good way to figure that out. And so like this is the knee, and I just am making it like this because it's a placeholder. If I find out like, wow, I made that knee huge and it doesn't really work for the size of the leg, well, then I can go back and kind of adjust it if I need to. So this part of the leg is going to be straight, and then the back part of the leg will be curved. That's Miss Brown. She's super nice. I was waving at her. And then, like, I know sometimes if your sketches get a little too sloppy and you're like, oh, I don't know what's going on with this, you can kind of take that out a little bit. All right. Actually, this other leg looks like it's going to be pretty easy. So I just wanted to remind you that we did this large shape here for the calf, and then we brought it in a little bit thinner here. This one's more of a straight down situation. Are you guys ready for the next leg?
Can you
go over the what?
The torso for a female again?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so if this was for a female, at this point, I wouldn't do anything else other than adjust it to where it might not be as wide. So if I was, let's see, I will try to sketch it real quick. So these are still ribs, okay? But with the female, the ribs are going to be not as wide, okay? And then it might, it kind of, I often see artists do something like this, and then curve it down. These are on the inside, and then so the pectoral muscles are going to be right here. So once we start developing the pectoral muscles for our character, that is whenever we're going to see a little bit more of the feminine shape. Okay. So at this point, I would just make sure that it is not as wide. And then when we do start adding the breasts, it will be more up here. And then it's going to be more of like a a shadow situation. Does that make sense, Christian?
Yeah.
And then we have like right now we haven't really gone through like the clavicle and things like that, but there'll be more of a shadow situation. I feel like the more I do, the worse it looks. But right now we would just make it a little bit thinner, like if it was, let's see, it would probably be, you know, like that wide if it was a woman. Good Lord, I don't know what I just drew over there. That looks awful. I'm going to erase that. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and work on this leg. Now I do want to let you guys know that what we do today, if it's on paper, I'd like you to take a picture of it and turn it in on Microsoft Teams. And we'll call this, the name of this is going to be called Strike a Pose. Because that's what it's called in the resource that I found. So let's look at this upper thigh. So I'm going to get my pencil out. Remember, it starts out wide. Oops, I have the wrong color. So this is, again, it's going to be kind of like a cylinder, but it's wider at the top and it gets skinnier as it goes down. And then we have the knee. And the knee is going to be facing us because the foot is forward facing. So it's going to just remember our torso there. Okay, so we did the upper thigh. And then I just made the circle for the knee larger. And again, the knee is forward facing. So on here, we'll do for the calf muscle. It's kind of like, remember, it's going to be kind of like this will be kind of like an oval, but it's also kind of stretched a little bit and thin out in the bottom. And then I just finish it out like that. And that makes the foot not look so strange. I actually like that one better than the other leg that we did. I'm gonna. Does anybody have any questions about the legs? Or the leg that we just finished? Okay.
The feet looks really good for me.
The feet are what?
I said the bottom feet. Can you go over that again?
Which one? Which foot?
The ankled one.
Um, the one that's kind of pointing towards us, or the one from the side?
Yeah, for what I'm doing, it looks like a blob.
Okay. So what I can do is I will go over it. So for this one, we've got like a circle here, and this is going to be like combining shapes. And then usually, we have something like that.
Oh no, I'm at the other foot.
Okay. So here is going to be probably where the ankle is. The toe is there. And if you look at it, like if I had to describe it with like one word for a shape, it almost looks like a teardrop, but it's wider down here. Okay, so this is going to be flat there because that's where the toes are. Or they stop, and then this part comes out, and then this part comes in. It might be at a sharper angle sometimes, depending on the artist. Oops, I'll put the blue back. Does that help a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we won't see really see much of the heel. It does look like the artist, when they start adding the super suit, that they add more details to define the foot more. But in the beginning, a lot of times artists just kind of started off with just kind of getting these forms. I hope that helped, Christian.
It did. Saying it was a teardrop helped.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it's just you just got to base it on a shape that you already know. Okay. So let's go ahead and I feel like I don't want to stress you guys out too much. I feel like we probably have time to finish another arm. However, we can what we'll do is we'll wait until tomorrow, because I still need to make the what do you call it? I still need to make